Welcome back, and we are back with our special guest this weekend, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Kevin Brady. And Mr. Chairman, you just told us that you really want to collapse the number of brackets from 7 to 3 so that people can do their taxes on a postcard, and it's real simple, straightforward. Let's talk about individual rates. How much could taxes go down for our viewers? You're talking about 3 different brackets. What do you envision?
So both in the House blueprint, President Trump's initial campaign tax plan, and then the discussions that the president laid out, I think about 2.5, 3 months ago, all in that same range of in effect, eliminating the 10% bracket, taking that to 0, really important for those modest earners. You know, the 12, 25, 35 roughly range is where these discussions are at. The reason it hasn't been decided yet, we continue to work very hard to make sure we deliver middle-class tax relief, but we want, again, we're going for growth of paychecks and jobs as well. And so all the rates are designed to grow those salaries and grow those jobs. And the estimate we have from the Tax Foundation on the initial blueprint is that for a family of 4, increases after tax wages by about $5,000.
That is a big deal.
It is a huge deal because those paychecks have been flat for way too long, and we think this is an important part of tax reform.
All right, so you're talking about 0 for the very modest earners, then you're talking about possible 12%, 25%, and the highest end at 35%, something like that. We know it's rough.
Yeah, very
These numbers are rough.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about the timeline, because you've got a lot on the agenda to get there. So you've got the debt ceiling that you want to raise at the end of September. You've got the budget to pass, and that leads you to reconciliation to get this done. Is it doable in the short amount of time you have?
It is. It is doable, and we're on that timetable to deliver this year. I know some people talk September, October, Thanksgiving, whatever. Look, after 31 years, getting this done in the first year would be a huge achievement. So that's where we're on the timetable for. Critical to that is the budget. Diane Black, chairman of the Budget Committee, has done an amazing job bringing out from her committee unanimously the new budget for next year. But in that budget is the reconciliation, the green light that allows us to get tax reform to the president without obstructionism in the Senate. So it's a critical part of this. And what I always say, this is the most important budget I've ever voted on, including, and I helped Newt Gingrich with the balanced budget.
Wow.
This is the most important because this is the green light for tax reform.
And that's why you're making a big deal about it next week. You're going to the Reagan Ranch in California with a big event. Why did you choose Wednesday, this upcoming week?
So we picked a historic location, President Reagan's ranch, where he signed tax reform on a very important day, which was when the House and Senate came together on an agreement to deliver the president a pro-growth, bold tax code. So we think it's important to speak directly to the American people about why now is the time to do it again, because I think President Reagan wouldn't recognize today's tax code compared to what he did. And so this is our moment in history for not Washington to grab this challenge, for the American people to grab this challenge. And so that's what that speech is all about.
You're right. So you're going to do like a Facebook Live thing?
We are. So you can visit our website, the Ways and Means Committee, as well. And we have a lot of national press coming because it's the right moment on a significant day with an important issue for America.
Yeah, it's a really important issue. So the Freedom Caucus chairman, Mark Meadows, recently spelled out what he thinks is the most important timeline in order to get this done by year end. I want to see if you agree with his thoughts. Listen to this.
If we do not have a bill that we're actually debating in September, who hopefully gets a vote by October, it will not get to the president's desk by Thanksgiving. If it doesn't get there by Thanksgiving, guys, it isn't going to happen.
True.
Well, generally, this fall is really important. In the Ways and Means Committee, we intend to bring out the bill because we have to constitutionally begin this tax reform process in that timetable. We still have a lot of work to do. In fact, while we may not be in Washington right now, the White House, including the president himself, the Senate tax writers and the House tax writers are continuing to work together on this unified approach. And so we continue on the timetable to deliver it this year.
Is it true that the Freedom Caucus is basically saying, look, we don't want to go through all of this reform, just give us tax cuts?
Well, no, not necessarily. In fact, in my visits with many of the Freedom Caucus members, they want the greatest growth for the greatest years. And many understand to do that, we have to create permanence. So when our businesses make long-term decisions, they can count on a tax code, that rewards that new investment or that new relocation back to the United States. And so I really think we're all, frankly, on the same page for go bold, go permanent, but go now. Get it done this year.
And of course, you put out this white paper just a couple of weeks ago talking about principles. You and Paul Ryan and the White House, or the President came together to put out your principles. And one of those principles was you decided to end consideration of the border adjustment tax.
We did.
That's off the table now.
It is. It is. Look, we had a great debate on that. I still think that plays a key role, or could have played a key role, in stopping U.S. companies from leaving, bringing them back, and allowing us to lower tax rates. But again, at the end of the day, it had too many unknowns. So it's time to set it aside so we could work together. But your point is, I think many people missed the importance of that joint statement. Look back at the Reagan reforms, look back at every effort. It is very unusual and very encouraging. The White House, the House and Senate tax writers are all on the same page, all saying the urgency is now and the President's behind this approach. And so it was lost sort of in the hubbub, of Washington that week, but really critical.